want to be pushing to 1 to 2 reps from failure in most of your sets. So if you're doing a bench press, for example, and when we say 1 to 2 reps from failure, it means, let's just say we're doing 3 sets, 3 working sets. And I think this is a crucial aspect here. So if it says 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps, let's just say, for example, your 3 sets are actually 3 working sets in your program. Before those 3 sets, you probably should have done 2 warm-up sets to get you to your working weight, okay? Because if it is only 3 sets, they should be 3 working sets. So you're doing maybe you're doing it with the bar, and then you put 220s on the sides, and you do it with 60 kilos, and then you put another 10 each side, and then the first one might be, 12 reps at 80 kilos, and then you put another 5 each side, and then you're going, okay, cool, I'm going to do the 11 to 12 reps at the 90 kilos, and you're getting towards the end, you're like, okay, I've got 2 reps in me, maybe I could do 13. If I went for 14, I would be trapped under the bar, asking for someone to help get me out of it. And that's what 1 to 2 reps from failure is like. You could do 2 more reps, and if not, you are trapped. And then you go up to 100 kilos, and maybe like you grind out 10 reps and you're like, oh my God, if I did 11, I wouldn't have been able to push up there. You'd end up being a video on Instagram where you get stuck and you're a gym fail, right? And that is literally 1 to 2 reps from failure. And a lot of people don't do it, 1, because they don't like discomfort, but 2, they aren't sure where it is, or they don't know where their failure is. And a good way to do it sometimes is to decrease the weight and maybe go, okay, well, I'm going to leave it at 80 kilos. I'm going to see how many reps I can do with 80 kilos. Okay. And you're pumping it out, and it's like it's called an AMRAP set. It's as many reps as possible. So you pump out and you're like, okay, I can do 14 or I can do 15 reps at the 80 kilos just before I'm about to fail. It's like, okay, great. That means I can definitely do 90 kilos for my 10 to 12 reps, or I can definitely do that sort of 100 kilos. It gives you a bit of a guider. And then if you aren't training with a training partner, 1, you could switch to dumbbells if you want to, but again, you don't want to throw dumbbells on the ground because then you're just a dick. But we don't want to do that. We want to be able to put the dumbbells down well. But just put your spotting arms up on the rack. And I'll do that so that it's just above my chest. So when I'm lowering it down, if I go, to my chest, it hits hit my chest, it hits the spotting arms. So if I do get to failure and I can't push it back up, I'm never getting stuck. And I think that's a crucial thing. Or if you really need to, go and use the Smith machine. And then you can just rack it if you get stuck as well. I probably don't say that to use the Smith machine as much because you're going to be, again, burning less calories and you're losing the stabilizer muscles. But get the spotting arms up and let them be your spotting partner. That's literally what they're called. So I think that is a key thing that I see people don't do as well. So track your lifts. Make sure you're training 1 to 2 reps from failure. And if you are hitting 12 reps or you are hitting 10 reps this week at your 100 kilos, okay, next week and you've tracked it, go for 11. That increases the volume. It shows you that you got something. Tracking your lift shows you got something to beat. I think this is a massive thing. What do you think, Jace?
I agree. It's something that challenges me every week. I'm in more of a muscle gain phase, and all of this stuff goes doubly as important for a muscle gain phase. Like, there's no point in going for a muscle gain phase if you're not going to train hard. Like, it's just pointless. But for me, like, I actually, I not quite disagree, but I think that when it comes to using something like the Smith machine or the chest press machine, I've taken to, instead of doing bench, like, I'll do an incline dumbbell press. I never drop them because it's easy to know when I've failed, because you just literally, if you can't, and then you can just, you gently lower them down. That's what you do. You respect your gym's equipment. But when it comes to like my second session of the week, I will often do a machine press because I know I can just, because I'd be nervous sometimes with a bench. If I don't have a spotter, I would be nervous to go as hard as I could. Whereas with this lying plate press, I could just fucking pump it out and even like do the little reps at the bottom and increase that intensity there. So, and again, it's not a way of you copping out. It's a way of going, cool, well, now I can push myself harder. I particularly like a Smith machine press for like a seated overhead. I find that from a stability perspective for a lot of people, like a seated overhead press with the Smith machine, just because, again, you can rack it easy, but sometimes as well, the angle of the Smith machine can be a bit weird.
I think when we're looking for like fat loss and also hypertrophy, right, we want to try and target the muscle that we're going for as best as we possibly can. Okay. So it's literally why I'm not going to tell someone to do a ridiculous okay, let's do a lunge into a curl, into a squat and press at the same time, which you'll see on Instagram, and someone's doing some crazy thing. It's like, well, you're not using a stimulus on any muscle that's specific. So we're not putting any intensity. When we call that intensity, it's like close to our 1 rep max or 8 rep max or whatever we're doing. We're not putting the right intensity through any muscle you work in, because if you are putting the right amount of intensity for your lunges, you might be holding like, I don't know, 20 to 25 kilo dumbbells. Now,
You're not curling that.
You're not curling that at all. And you're not going from a lunge to a curl and into a shoulder press and then carefully bringing them back down into your lunge again. It's like, so not only are you not stimulating your legs, you're also not stimulating your biceps, because, okay, what are we going to do instead? Okay, I'm going to do 10 kilos. It's like you go into your lunge and then you go into your curl and then to your press. Okay, well, I might be stimulating my biceps, but I'm not going for my shoulders, and I'm definitely not stimulating my legs. So it's like, let's stop trying the combo moves, okay, and let's like focus. And I think, I agree, Jace, it's like, if you do have the ability to use machines to then isolate, when I say isolate, take out the supplementary muscles and do like a flat machine hammer strength press. I love that sort of press machine. Or if you are using a Smith machine, because it's going to give you the stability to just really feel the muscle. And I think when you've got less shit going on, you can actually focus on the muscle you're trying to work as well. I think that is as a big thing. So you can get the mind-muscle connection.
Yeah, that's why I often recommend wrist wraps and straps for guys doing. Yeah. For me, there was a game changer for back work because I wasn't limited by my grip, but also for leg work. I could hold 25 kilo dumbbells in each hand and just do lunges. And I'm not thinking like, oh, my fingers are going to fall off. I'm just thinking, fuck, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stand up for the next rep, right? And it's also why we recommend you don't go to failure on things like squats, deadlifts, not necessarily because, you know, if you fail on a deadlift, right, you just put the bar back down on the ground, but it's more so the injury aspect of it. You don't want to go too crazy. But whatever you're doing, you want to be feeling intensity. You want to be feeling like, all right, I'm training hard. I'm hitting these muscles hard, and that kind of you can do that through a number of different things, right? You can do back-to-back sets of the same muscle, like you could do like a chest superset where you're doing press and then flies, and you know you're absolutely fucking smoking that muscle.